Okay, welcome to the November 27th Build in Public update for FlawFinder.ai. When we first started this project about 5 to 6 weeks ago, we had three main principles that we wanted to adhere. We wanted to create a solution for attorneys that was painful to lose for them. So once we put it into their workflow, they'd be like, damn, dude, this is terrible if I lost it. Kind of like how ChatGPT is for today, or maybe how Google search was for the last 20, 25 years. Results so good that it's painful to lose. We then wanted the result to be so easy for them that they literally would just come click, click, and boom, something great would happen, right? It wasn't gonna be this tedious thing. It was just gonna be easy, right? And then lastly, it was gonna be painless to pay. So we wanted to show them in the app that they were gonna use it so much that when they paid us, they were glad to send us money. Kind of like how we all are with ChatGPT or maybe some of the other subscription models that you're paying for that you're like, please don't tell them, but I'm getting way more value than I would, normally. So please keep the price where it is, because it's a smoking good deal for us. That's kind of what we set out to do. And so now that we've gotten to the point where we have a fully functioning app, which we're going to show you here in just a few seconds, literally we just built it in the last 5 to 6 weeks. We're going to go through where we're at today, which is testing internally. So we just finished all of the build process on Monday. Today is Thursday. In the last 2-3 days, we've been cleaning things up. Basically making all little details right, the footer, the header, the logo, all that stuff, making sure that all the editorial stuff was clean, the T's were, whatever, dotted or whatever, the I's are dotted and the T's were crossed, all that stuff. And now we're testing internally. So today's work is to basically get 5 good test questions from ChatGPT, right, about these police procedures. And then get all of our departmental uploads of all the PDFs we've sourced into the system and use those questions to basically query, like what's the use of force policy? What is the appropriate response during a DUI? What are the procedures during a DUI? So we're gonna go through, we're gonna test that the system is returning the right answer, right? Number, very important. So we're gonna query the departments, that we get the right answer. And then we're gonna query the citation accuracy. So like we're gonna have a summary up top. Hey, this is the answer to your DUI question, right? And then below that, attorneys love citations because they wanna know the truth that's in the documents. The citations are gonna say, point 1 is referenced on page 542. Point 2 is referenced on page 544. Point 3 is referenced on 545, so on and so forth, right? So our citations have to be right. And then when we click on the citation, does it go to the right PDF, right? So the main thing is PDF accuracy, citation accuracy, and are the summaries good every time we upload a new department, right? So that's where we're at today. And over the next few days, when all of this gets approved and we're happy with it internally, we're then gonna release it for beta testing. That means that a few friends of mine who are attorneys are gonna use the system. I'm gonna invite them on and say, hey, go at it, plug your questions in, see how it works for you, give us some feedback. And over the next few days, hopefully before December 1st, we're gonna get feedback, which is really important, right? And more than anything, we're gonna get real field testing, right? These are attorneys that are gonna ask the questions that they normally ask in a daily workflow. They're gonna ask the system that. And so when we get this, we're gonna go back, iterate, maybe clean some things up, and then hopefully by December 1st, in the next 5 days is what we're planning on, we're gonna have a live release, okay? When we do that, we already have a database of defense attorneys starting in South Florida, of which 700 are in Miami-Dade County, 600 are in Broward, and 500 are in Palm Beach, give or take. These are private defense attorneys, people who are just having their law office, Thompson & Thompson, we help you with your DUI thing. That's what we're dealing with. And our target market, although this is our total available market in South Florida, it's about 1,800 attorneys, total available market, are 30% of the elite attorneys who have a great established practice, they only focus on defense, and they have a lot of volume, 5-10 cases a month. This is the target market, so it means that we're targeting 600 elite power users. These are people who are not real estate attorneys, contract attorneys, family law attorneys, posing as defense attorneys as well. These are strictly defense only, and they're high volume practitioners. So we're looking for 600 users in the South Florida area. On our pricing model, this puts us somewhere between 40, 50,000 MRR, right? What we found out in the last 2 weeks was if we bolt on the public defender's office, now this becomes a viable business long term, right? Because the public defenders are the ones that are provided by the state. And as an enterprise customer, they make things quite exciting financially for the business. It gives us a lot more runway because of the way that the public defender with the Florida statutes can actually pay for contracts all up front, right? And for many, many seats. So this is kind of the long-term goals to get in the public defender's office. But until that, we need to deliver a lot of value to the private attorneys and onboard them as they see the value in our system. So that's kind of what's going on December, starting with the live release. Then we're gonna jump into marketing and doing the sales. And a lot of this is gonna be real simple. It's gonna be guerrilla style. We don't have a large team, but what we do have is very good use of technology and a lot of perseverance. So one of the good things that we've got is we're well-versed in technology and we're very persistent. So we're gonna be sending out Loom videos. And what that looks like is a very simple Loom video, 20, 30 seconds, sent out personally to each attorney with a quick demo and a free trial. It's gonna be personalized, so this is gonna be something that they're probably gonna open, and then they're gonna say, okay, wow, this sounds cool. Let me just go out there and make a few searches, and if it makes sense, convert them into a free trial and then into a paid customer. So that's gonna be our sales and marketing strategy. We're gonna replicate this about 1,800 times over the next 3 to 4 months, and that's gonna be the sales process. That's gonna be the perseverance until we get this thing to go viral and basically become a product that all defense attorneys are familiar with, kind of like LexisNexis. So that's kind of what we're doing here, the November 27th update. We've got testing internally. Next week, we're transitioning to beta testing with our external attorney friends who are helping us develop the app. And then it's a live release sometime in the beginning of December. And then this is our target market for which we're gonna start marketing and doing sales with. And eventually, our goal is to get feedback from the real attorneys, make some small changes, and by the end of the year, start getting some paid users on the platform once these 14-day trials expire. FlawFinder.ai website, and this just went public for our internal testing a few days ago. As you can see, we've got about 9,000 pages uploaded of government docs, 609 PDFs total. And so far, we've saved people about 300 minutes, right? We just started 2 days ago. So the name of the software is simple. It's FlawFinder. And what we're doing is we're helping attorneys find the flaw in police procedures, right? So if their client got arrested for DUI in Miami-Dade County, they would go and say, okay, the city of Miami made the arrest. They're going to go here to City of Miami Police Department, and then they're going to type in what is the DUI procedures for arresting a suspect, right? Let's just say. It's going to read the departmental orders, and then it's going to start looking into, okay, how do we answer this? How do we put this together in a summary format? Boom, complete. It now gives us all the relevant citations. Yes, the Miami Police Department has specific procedures for arresting a suspect for DUI, which include lawful contact, conducting field sobriety tests, and completing necessary paperwork. Okay, great. We have some citations, and now we click on them and get to the PDF, where exactly in the police procedures something is important to them. So they will take this, they'll make a screenshot, they'll put it in their dashboard, and they'll start building their case with this software. It's a very hard process manually for attorneys, and what we're doing is we're taking the guesswork out of opening a PDF with 1,000+ pages and manually trying to scan and read and take notes and basically grind your way to an answer. What we're doing is we're implementing a smart AI that we've trained to look for relevant language in the PDF, and then to bring that relevant language in a very simple format that summarizes it, and then gives them citations so they can link right out to where exactly in the PDF the information is. This is going to get better over time, but what we're looking to do, our core value to an attorney, is to save them 15 to 20 minutes per search. Usually an attorney will use this a few times a week. If we can save them an hour or two a week, we've done our job, because this now makes their life a little bit more pleasant. And the fact that they don't have to deal with a government agency to source the document improves their staff and their life. And maybe the fact that they don't have to pile through 1,000 pages of a PDF every time, right, to get to one or two answers also makes their life easier. And so that's kind of what we're bringing to the law firms, right, is we're bringing just a little bit more ease to their workflow. And what we have is a very basic website that has raw features. We have a back end, right, where we can add our departments. This is what we do. We have a billing section, right, on Stripe, and it tells people what our pricing is. And then we have a support section that just makes tickets. So right now, this is version 1, right? Version 1 is very bare bones. In version 2, we'll add some nice creature comforts that make the experience nicer. We'll add a dashboard. We'll add some folders where they can keep all their documents that they've used. We'll see what a search history is like. So all of this will roll out in the next 14 to 30 days. But right now, the MVP, the minimum viable product, works. It has support. It has billing. Has a way to contact us. And frankly, it's ready for feedback. And that's what we wanted to do in today's update, is just bring to you what the MVP was for a legal SaaS. This is it. It has to work. It has a little bit of about us, right? So we put a little sauce in there to tell people a little bit more about us. And it also has a terms, right? So it's very important that when you deal with attorneys, you got to have everything all, cleaned up and legal and all that stuff. The terms of use is here. We just pretty much ChatGPT'd it, right, for the first version, just to get it out there. We'll probably go through it with a fine-tooth comb, and maybe an attorney friend of mine will help us draft and clean it up if anything. But that's really all you need is to get going, is the basics. You can boilerplate the majority of the stuff, like the privacy policy. That shouldn't hold you back. That took us 15 minutes to build with ChatGPT. And it says it really clear. We don't sell your personal data. Everything else is just a little bit of legal talk to just, make sure that any attorney who's looking through the fine print gets what they need. And that's it. This took us 5 to 6 weeks to build. I would say on average, if I had to calculate it, our team is 3 people. And in total manpower hours, it's been about 40 days of work for 3 people. That probably comes to about, I would say, somewhere in the neighborhood of about 1,000 hours to build this app of manpower, somewhere in there. And so if you think that you don't have 1,000 man hours, hire a dev. That's what we did. And the dev did a lot of the, the back end stuff and the heavy lifting. We put together a lot of the internals, the guts, right? We had to get the documents. We had to get all of this kind of cleaned up. But using AI has been very easy. And I would say that this took what used to take 6 to 9 months and condensed it down to 5 to 6 weeks. So that's the update I wanted to share, that you also can do this type of thing. It does require a hard sprint, a lot of 10 to 12-hour days in the last 6 weeks. But we now have a functioning software, and I wanted to share this with you guys because I've been inspired by some of the guys that on YouTube and AI talking about building in public. And so I wanted to bring to you what we are now offering the legal world starting in South Florida. Catch you on the next one.